This is the first episode of Teacher Tales, a podcast recounting stories from the people who teach us at SIS and basically talking about their own experiences before they came to the school to teach. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Mr. Halter, I teach AP Lit, Advanced Grammar, and the Yearbook, and Kaleidoscope Lit Magazine.
Okay, so what is your interesting story that you have to share today?
Well, pre-SIS, I worked at Glacier National Park in Montana. I know that one of the questions that was asked before is why, like how did I even go that direction? And I would say my parents, my grandparents on both sides of the family were teachers, and I was trying to break the mold. I didn't want, just because my whole family was teachers, I didn't think I wanted to be a teacher.
That's so ironic.
Yeah. So I graduated from college. I was a assistant dairy frozen manager at a grocery store, and I paid off my student loans, and I said, I'm out of here. I'm not sticking around. So I packed up my 94 Toyota Camry with all of my possessions, and I went and worked. I ran a camp store at the end of a valley, the Many Glacier Valley in Glacier National Park.
So it was like an escape for you?
It was a summer escape of 5 months.
For 5 months?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you just wanted to escape from like your previous life?
Break free from expectations,
Oh,
kind of
wow.
plot my own direction. At the time, they didn't even have cell service at that part of the park. We had to drive 20 minutes outside of the park to what we called the phone booth, which was just a spot up on a mountain where you could get an intermittent cell signal.
Oh, whoa. I don't think any of us would survive that.
So,
but
it was pretty quiet.
Wait, so out of all the jobs, you just decided, okay, I'm gonna become a national park?
I guess my parents, since they were, our whole family's teachers, we would always travel in the summer, and typically we would always go west. And so we'd go through national parks. We went to Yellowstone, Yosemite, Zion, Grand Canyon. I just developed a love for travel and seeing the national parks. And I had a friend who had actually worked. So this is where connections come into play. But I had a friend who, when I was on the phone interviewing for the job, the HR guy actually said, "Do you know this guy?" And I said, "Yeah, I played high school soccer with him."
Oh.
And he goes, "Well, he's one of my best friends."
Oh.
Okay, all right. Well, here are your options. Where would you like to work? Here, here, or here. So, it was just kind of that connection of, we had this good chat about a common friend, and,
okay.
I found my way in.
Moral of the story, nepotism wins.
Nepotism wins, have good connections, but also have good ideas and be willing to break free from what you're currently doing.
Do you have any interesting stories that you vividly remember?
Well, plenty. You think, it's just a job. You're going to a national park. I've been to national parks before. It's just some hiking and whatnot. But it turned out to be a lot more than that. I mean, living in the park, you get a little riskier. And every day, it's quiet and you don't have really much contact with the outside world, and you're getting more involved in the park. But a national park can be a very dangerous place. So the managers got there 2 weeks ahead of time. There's still snow on many of the trails, and they were still pretty dangerous. But I was working with a lot of returning managers who were pretty gutsy and brave. And so day one, we went out on a hike and didn't have any bear spray. That first hike, we ran into 6 grizzly bears, and a black bear, moose, saw some frozen waterfalls. Came back, and the grizzly bears weren't at the end of the trail anymore, so I was a little concerned.
Why?
Because it's just like, where'd they go? Like I'd rather see the thing than not see the thing.
That's
if there's a spider in the room, I want to see the spider, not wonder where it went.
Yeah.
And so I kind of hung back from the group, and I was just listening on high alert, and I heard maybe 10 yards behind me this snap, as if like something just cracked, not a twig, but like an actual branch. And I turned back, and the big 600-pound mama grizzly walks right up on the trail with me. I could literally smell her breath.
Wait, like literally like a foot away from you or something?
Like 10 yards away. Like we were looking straight into each other's eyes.
Oh.
Bear kind of stopped. I kind of stopped. And then there was a turn in the trail, so I just kind of backed up slowly, went around the turn, and then I took off running like Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Right past my friends. And so I go running past them, and Jack Sparrow and I'm like, there's a bear behind us, and then they're like, no, there's holy.
Like actually.
And so then this bear basically playfully followed us for the next 3/4 of a mile or so, back down to the end of the trail, and we had to break into one of the motor inn lodge rooms. So we broke through the door and then we barricaded it. Well, the bear came and slept on the deck right in front of the door. And then we had nowhere to go. We had no way to contact a ranger, so we waited for 4 hours staring out the window at this bear just napping outside the door.
That's kind of cute.
And so then the ranger sees us all looking out the window, and he just holds up a finger saying he'll be back in a minute, and he goes and he gets his shotgun so that he can kind of scare it away with beanbag shots.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, that was like day one.
Day one
of me being at the end of this valley and going for a hike, and so that was day one. So I realized it was going to be a heck of a summer after.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like the most enjoyable job though.
It was a lot of fun, and it actually kind of led to. So I really enjoy teaching. So then I went back after that. I realized that it was a little slow for my pace at the time. Not being able to contact family, friends, being stuck at the end of the valley. Like I got the experience I wanted. So then I came back. I got my master's, became a teacher. But at this point, I still love teaching. But one of the things I would look forward to would be in retirement. I would really enjoy being an educational ranger at a national park, and specifically. Either Glacier or Zion.
Do you have any moral of the story, life tips you can give maybe to SIS students listening on this podcast?
I would say, life isn't linear. It doesn't, I know that here, especially at this school, it's all kind of lined up the way you want it to be to go to the school that you want to go to hopefully end up in the job that you figure out that you want to. Sometimes it's okay to veer off that a little bit and take a little bit of a different detour. And I look back at Glacier fondly as a nice detour that I needed. I didn't need to get into a career that made me money right away when I could go experience something like that and look back on it and have these stories now. It would be a very different conversation if I were sitting here and you were asking about my first year as a lawyer or something, and it was stressful and I was just trying to make money. That's not as exciting as being chased by grizzly bears and nearly dying on some of the hikes I went on, or running into a mountain lion that in the middle of the night, stuff like that. Those are memories I'll always hold. So
yeah, I feel like that's a really cool story. That is a wrap of the first episode for Teacher Tales. Thank you, Mr. Halter, for being on this podcast with me.
You bet.
All right. Say bye to the people.
Bye, people. Go to Glacier. Travel, explore, have fun.
Okay.